All right, all right, all right. I Bleed Orange Sports Network. Such a time as this, 2025. We've been off for a couple of weeks because we had Christmas and then we had New Year's actually fall on the Eve and New Year's. Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve actually fall on the days that we do the podcast. So a little under the weather Tuesday. So we're back again live for our first show of 2025. Hard to believe this is well, we started Sports Network a little over 2 years ago, and we've been over a year with the podcast. And I got a lot to talk about. Clemson football season is over. There's a lot of interesting things happening. Stick around the end of the show. We're going to talk about some things about what's going on, some breaking news, some stuff we think that may happen. We came a little bit early tonight because we got the playoff game tonight. We got Penn State and Notre Dame. That'll be a good game at 7:30. But so we got basketball to talk about. Baseball rankings came out. I think Clemson's a little disappointed in that fact that we're ranked number 8 in baseball. Too early to tell. Rankings for football came out, and they had Clemson ranked at, I believe correctly, it was Clemson 8, and they had South Carolina at 7. But saying all that, I'm a little excited about next year, even though we're about 238 days away. I see a lot of good things happening in the off season already.
Yep.
A lot of rumors that they started spreading around Christmas time. Thank God, knock on wood, didn't come true. Cade's coming back. We got who else?
Well, the football team has decided to part ways with Wes Goodwin, so he is now not the DC. And I think the Texas game. I think Dabo didn't really have much of a choice after the Texas game when your entire defense could not stop the run game. If we would have stopped that run game, that game was a different game.
The talent we have, we shouldn't be allowing 300 yards rushing. I mean, we've always had a solid defense, and we have the talent, and so it had to figure out where the problems come from, and I think it came to coaching, and we're looking for a new defensive coordinator.
And I think Dabo I don't know if it was a lesson learned, if you will, but hiring someone who's never been a defensive coordinator ever. Right. I don't even know what his coaching background was, but I know that he was always the analytics guy for Venables. So
yeah, he was. That's where he came from. He was hired with him.
Yeah, I mean, I knew what he did before, but I don't know if he's ever been a coach before. That was the question. So, like I said, I think with Venables leaving and Dabo just thought, why not get the brains that was behind Venables? Right? Because Venables tried to take Wes Goodwin with him, and Dabo said, I think I want you to be my DC, so, will you stay? And, of course, Wes Goodwin's like, well, yeah, I'll stay. But, now the rumors are is that Wes Goodwin's going to be going to Oklahoma, but I've not seen anything official on that.
Yeah, they've thrown some names out there. I've been listening.
I think right now it's just rumors that Wes Goodwin's going to Oklahoma. But, right now the latest talks were that the guy from Tennessee was the number 1 candidate. And my understanding from things that I've seen and heard that, he is now backed out and is not being a candidate at all right now. And the rumors now are, and this is coming from, good sources, that Al Golden from Notre Dame is apparently the number 1 candidate, and that, supposedly Clemson, which I would assume is Dabo Swinney, are in talks or have spoken to Al Golden. Probably, and right now the talks are probably just like, hey, what is your interest? Would you even be interested? We know you're getting, right now getting prepared to play the playoff game against Penn State tonight, but hey, let's talk after the season. We need to know if you'd be interested. So,
yeah.
And I think that's just where it is right now. So, but hey, on the other side of that, Clemson has taken another person from the transfer portal. So all these fans out there that have been hating on Dabo for not doing it, you can get off his back because now he's taking some guys from the portal, and I've been a firm supporter of Dabo not going to the portal just because in my opinion the guys that are in the portal are not they're not loyal. They're hey, what are you going to do for me? Kind of thing. And I think that, Dabo really goes out and gets the right guys to fit the right, culture and the team and guys that are going to be loyal and be true teammates to the guys that are there now. And, obviously come in and want to fight for their position, not these guys who come in leaving a team because they didn't get to play, coming into this team thinking that they're just going to get the starting spot.
Yeah.
And that's why I've never liked the portal. I think the portal is ruining college football, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but there's been a lot of complaining about Dabo not using it. And, he's rolling with the changes. So it is what it is. At least he's using it. I mean, we picked up that guy from Alabama, Jeremiah Alexander.
Yeah. And hey, like I said, I think if he's going to use it, if he uses it for the guy, like the right guys, you know what I mean?
So, we picked up a guy from Purdue. So anyways, 238 days out. I don't know. 4 hours, 38 seconds, whatever. We got a ways to go. We do have a spring game coming up. I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
Probably we'll be looking to do a show in Clemson. I'm going over to Clemson next week. I haven't been over there. Well, I did go to the basketball game. I really haven't been over and work since before the ACC championship. So it's time to get busy. I'm going to be talking at Clemson University sports communication class on I Bleed Orange. They reached out about 2 days ago. So I'm pretty excited about that. Maybe we can film that. Maybe pick up an intern, somebody to come work for us. So anyways, we're growing and we got a long off season. It just seemed like between the Georgia game and the ACC championship and then playing Texas and losing, this season just went by so freaking quick.
Yeah, it did feel like it went by really fast, but I still feel like we were a team that could have beat Texas.
I think so. And we were complaining about, before the season started, about the offense and being kind of stale and vanilla and all that stuff. And then it kind of turned out like it was the defense seemed to be the problem near the end of the season. And the offense actually looked pretty good most of the game.
Defense did a great job. I mean, look, they held Georgia down for a good long time. But we already knew that the play calling in the offensive side of things is what caused us to lose that game. Then you got how many blocked field goals in the Louisville game? Like, come on.
Yeah, that game was a game I wish I never went to. But I don't know. You got Peter Woods, you got Sammy Brown, you got some of these guys. With the talent we have on defense, we shouldn't be giving up 300 yards in rushing. That's just ridiculous. That's a lot of yards. And
and that was the thing. Was it the defensive scheme that we had, or was it there was a lot of hand tackling that kept going on in that Texas game.
But it just seems like
that's your technique right there, and that's teaching these guys, to have better technique. But I've seen a lot of things. A lot of fans were saying, remember these guys are freshmen and sophomores. I'll give you that. Yes, they are freshmen and sophomores, but they know how to tackle. They tackled in high school.
It just seems like when you got a problem like that, if you got the talent, and it always seems to come back to the coach. I mean, whether it's head coach, whether it's offensive coordinator, look when we had Venables. We had a lot of talent under Venables. I don't think we had that much talent, but we got enough talent to play better than that on defense. And so it's going to be interesting to see who the defense coordinator. I think we need a change there. I think we picked the right defense coordinator. I think it's going to make a big difference.
Yeah. Like I said, I think Dabo learned the lesson of, needing to hire in that position someone that has the experience. I am all for about hiring within. I am a firm believer in hiring within. Like, every company that I've worked for, I would have much rather got promoted within the company than having to go to some other company to get promoted,
Right.
So I am a firm believer of that. But That said, it's not like you're taking a defensive lineman coach or a defensive line or a defensive back coach, somebody that's been in those trenches, coaching, and then taking over defensive coordinator. No, this guy was an analytics guy who came in and was made defensive coordinator. So, and I haven't heard of any other departures of coaches on the defensive side other than Wes Goodwin, but there were rumors that Reed was going to be gone, and I believe Batson is retiring, or at least that's what I heard. And on the offensive side, I've seen rumors, nothing official, that CJ Spiller is not going to be the running backs coach, but will be in a non-coaching role.
Really? Well,
and those were all rumors. But
speaking of running back, we need one. We need a running back because Moffitt's gone.
No, do we? I mean, we got some guys that are in the waiting. That Adazume, I think, is going to be a great guy.
Yeah.
He didn't get a lot of playing time this year because I think they kind of held him back to do a red shirt. But what was the other guy? What was the guy? What's his number? Number 26. I can't think of his name right now.
Allen?
Is it number 26?
Allen.
The one guy that came in after Maffa there for a little bit.
His last name's Allen, isn't it?
Is that who it was? I mean, he did a pretty good job.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I mean, we need somebody like an ETN or CJ Spiller.
What about Adam? What about Randall, man?
Adam Randall, yeah.
I mean, they brought him in for a couple of plays, and he did well.
Yeah, he did. He did. You're right about that. I mean, the offense looking pretty good. I mean, we could pick up a receiver from Purdue. We got Wesco coming back. We got Moore coming back. We got Nathaniel Williams coming back. We got Cade coming back. I mean, it wouldn't hurt if we could find a 5-star running back. But I mean, the guys we got, they could hold their own. But
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the running back room is pretty good with talent. I don't know. I feel like Maffa was trying too hard, being his last season,
he was hurt also
and he was battling through a lot of injuries, and I think that hurt us a little bit on the offensive side because I think that would have opened up a lot more if Maffa could have gotten some good runs in.
Jay Haynes is the guy we're talking about.
Haynes. Yes.
Yeah, Haynes. Yes. And we got Keith Adams,
Adams, Haynes, and then you got Etzazume, I think is how you
David Etzazume.
And I'm excited for that kid. I can't
cool.
wait to see that kid in action.
Yeah.
I think Etzazume is going to be – I think he might be the next ETN.
Let's see. Let me look at
the times that I've seen Etzazume actually run, and he just, I don't know. To me, when I watched him play, he just had these little flashes of ETN.
Yeah. Where did he come from? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I'm not exactly sure.
He had 60 yards against Texas, 7.5 yards to carry. You got a name you can't forget, right?
Who?
Adazume.
Oh, yeah.
Just call him David.
My son likes to call him Edamame.
Well, I remember the first game I went to that I saw ETN play. The first game of the season, we're playing Troy, and he broke off, and I never heard of the guy. Broke off to a 70-yard run touchdown as a true freshman. And they said ETN. I thought his name was spelled ETN. But ETN is probably the best running back, in my opinion, we ever had. I mean, he would get the ball, hit the line of scrimmage like a freaking rocket, man. He was hard to stop. Dude, if you look at the stats, he was way ahead of everybody when he finished.
When I saw him that first year and he came in, I want to say, I know you said it was, who'd you say he played? What game did you say you saw him in?
Texas. He played Texas game. He had 60 yards.
Texas game.
7.5 yards.
No. I'm talking about ETN.
Oh, it was Troy, I believe. Troy. I was there. It was
I want to say it was the Wake Forest game that I remember when he broke out that long run. And even the announcer said, watch out, he's got breakout speed or track speed or something. And next thing you know, he just outran the defender that was like coming to him. And I'm like, this kid's going to be special.
Yeah, but he broke out when that first game of the season. It may have been 65 yards, may have been 75, but it was a long run. I just remember them saying ETN. I said, that's an interesting name. You won't forget that name.
Yeah.
And
The
he was
story
something special.
behind ETN is amazing. Like
Huh?
the story on how we recruited him is just absolutely amazing.
And then, luck have it be, we end up playing LSU where he was from. And a lot of those, we know his mom, she's probably still in our group. I don't know. But his mom used to be pretty active in Outward Orange.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we might try to get her on the podcast.
I'd love to have her on.
Yeah, because she's got another son, plays for Georgia.
Yeah, but he's unfortunately has gotten into a little trouble.
Is he a senior?
I think he's got one more year.
Because he played trouble.
It
wasn't that bad. I mean,
this was his second year, so he's got technically 2 more years.
Yeah,
because he went to Florida first.
Yeah,
and he played 1 season at Florida, and then in the offseason, he entered the transfer portal, and that's when Georgia picked him up. And then he got in trouble with I think it was like speeding or reckless driving or something.
It was DUI, but it was like real low DUI.
He got in trouble there, and then he played with Georgia, but it wasn't like he did great at Georgia either.
His brother's, more talented. He just is.
Yeah,
that's probably why his brother didn't want to go to Clemson, because they would have compared him. But,
well, he actually, I actually know for a fact that he said, like, I want to make my own road. Right. I don't want to fall in the same footsteps as my brother. I want to make my own path, is what he said. And that's why he didn't come to Clemson, because Clemson was definitely trying to get him. But he just basically said, no, I want to not follow the same footsteps as my brother. I want to make my own path.
Okay, and this is pretty big. Number 1 all-time rusher for Clemson, Travis Etienne, 4,952 yards. Number 2, James Davis. He's 1,100 yards ahead of James Davis. James Davis, 3,881. Number 3 is Raymond Priester. Let's see, go to some more here. CJ Spiller, number 4.
I was about to say, how's CJ Spiller not on that list?
Well, he's not far. He's at 4. He's only like 300 yards behind the second place guy. ETN had 7.2 yards per freaking carry, 70 touchdowns. Total receiving, and he had another 1,155 yards receiving. He had total yards of 4,952.
That was probably all-purpose yards.
Yeah, all-purpose. That was rushing, and but he had 1,100, almost 1,200 yards receiving. Ended up with 4,952. James Davis was 1,100 yards below that. Spiller, then Andre Ellington, 3,436. And then you got Wayne Gallman. I was saying Wayne Gallman's number 6. I thought he'd be more.
God, I miss Wayne Gallman. I miss Andre Ellington too, but Wayne train. Good. That's what I miss. I miss that Wayne train.
Oh, he was a beast, man. He was not afraid of contact. Bill Moffitt's number 8. So Will Shipley, number 9. Kenny Flowers, 10. Terry Allen, number 11. Woody Dantzler, number 12. And then getting into kind of some other people.
That's another guy I miss watching play, is Woody Dantzler.
I was dating a girl.
I used to love watching Woody Dantzler. I used to pretend that I was Woody Dantzler as a kid.
I was dating a girl. He lived right next door to her over in Aronson. He still lives over there. But, yeah, he's still around. I think word has it he owns part of the SO Club. Well, I heard.
Who?
Dantzler.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's part of that crew. Chuck McSwain, Terrence Flagler. But anyhow, so
if you want a good feel-good story, Trevor Lawrence had his baby.
I saw that. Yeah, they had rumors like a month ago, and he hadn't had his baby yet. Finally, it's breaking news, and it's actually true. That's pretty cool. He's recovering. He'll be back next year. I think he needs to leave Jacksonville and go somewhere else.
Well, they just fired the head coach.
Yeah.
So
that's been part of their problem.
It's crazy to say that Trevor Lawrence has been gone 3 years, 4 years now.
4.
Hold on.
We played
So,
LSU.
You're 19, so
2019 was
20
his last year.
what?
2019 was his last year, but we
Right.
played LSU. No,
So
no.
no,
He
wait a
played
minute.
in 21. He played in 21. No. He finished 20 out.
Yeah, okay.
We
I was
lost
about
to
to say,
We lost to
wait
Ohio
a minute,
State.
something's confusing because I remember the whole COVID thing and Trevor Lawrence
Yeah.
being part of COVID.
Yeah, he did. He played in 20, and we lost to Ohio State. in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
that's right. That's right.
That was his
So,
last
so he's been gone
4 years.
basically 5 years, right?
4
And
years.
he's already had 2 head coaches in the NFL.
Yeah. Well, he had
That's
Urban Meyer.
But I'm just saying, it's crazy to think that, you know,
Yeah.
that he's had 2 head coaches
In that
in
short
5
period
years.
of time.
In 5 years.
Well, Urban Meyer was just hired.
Urban Meyer should never be allowed to ever coach another team.
No.
He had his run. He did his job at Florida, and he just needs to stop.
Yeah. Well, he's an announcer for ESPN sometimes now, but he
goes to Ohio State. He makes a crap show out of Ohio State.
Yeah.
Then he goes to the NFL and makes an even bigger crap show at the NFL.
Yeah. He's always had some conflict, all the field conflict going on. I don't go into all the details, but I don't know. But so anyhow, let's look at the basketball team real quick. I mean, we lost the other night. I went to the game. It was a late game at Little John last Saturday. Didn't get started about 8:40. It was like 11 when it was over with. We're looking good on basketball. We did lose to Louisville 2 nights ago, but it was a away game. I think we might have been tired. But I think Clemson has a chance to win. From what I've seen, I've been to 3 games already. I watched every game that had so far on TV. We stay healthy. Shepland stays healthy. The 3-point shooting is pretty strong. Defense is strong. I think we got a chance making a run.
Did you see the press conference where they asked Dabo if he would take Chef?
Oh yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that. That was
he said, well, you know, he's one of those guys that would like to play one of them sexy positions.
yeah, like a receiver or something. Can see him on the line.
But he said tight end. He said you make a good tight end.
Hey, bro, wow, man, who's done that since like Bo Jackson? I mean, what's the last player? Well, there've been a few players. I mean, we've had a few players. I'm trying to think of that guy, the quarterback, a couple of years back. Well, it was back around 2009. He played Cal Parker, and he played baseball as quarterback. And actually, he was a decent quarterback. I actually went to the major leagues in baseball, which would be my suggestion to DJ. DJ said he's available for the NFL draft. I don't see how that's going to work out.
Yeah.
He can do anything at Florida State. So, yeah. What do you think about the eight-team playoffs?
The
12-team playoffs. My bad.
Oh, I love it. I think the committee got it wrong this year.
I think there's some teams that get in there because of their conference that.
Well, I think the committee got it wrong this year. I really believe they got it wrong.
Well,
but I'm also a firm believer in you win your conference championship, you deserve a spot. And I think that it should only be conference champions in the playoff, period. Why can't you give – and I get it. I know the broad spectrum here of no one wants to watch Alabama in the heyday. Let's say Alabama in its prime, right?
Well, you got to say the SEC's got a lot of good teams.
Well, what I'm saying is
hard to just have one team.
Nobody wants to see Notre Dame playing UCF.
Yeah, I just think you need to have the best 12 teams, no matter how.
Or NFL or not NFL, Memphis or
Arizona State. You see that Arizona State Texas game? That was probably the craziest game I've ever seen. That was a good game.
But it gave Arizona State their chance.
Yeah, you're right.
That's my point.
SMU got blown out. That wasn't a good game.
Boise State. Boise State would have never been mentioned in any of the top 4 playoff teams ever if it was still top 4.
Well, yeah, you're right.
If it was still to the 4, Boise State would never be mentioned. UCF would never be mentioned. Memphis would never be mentioned. I feel like give these teams their Cinderella moment.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't
you
go
win
any
your
more than 12.
conference
I mean, 8 would have been
championship,
good, but 12,
you deserve to
12,
be in.
we don't need to go to 16 or anything else. 12, we need to stop at a good.
Why do we need to see Tennessee not a conference champion? Why do we need to see SMU not a conference champion? Why do we need to see Penn State not a conference champion? Like all these teams that were in there that are not conference champions. Okay? Like look at the final four. Look at the final four right now. Not one is a conference champion.
Nope. You're right. Ohio State won because he lost to Michigan. Notre Dame's not even in a conference. Penn State, who won that conference? Who won the Big
Oregon.
Ten? Oregon did. Yeah, Oregon got beat.
But that's my point. Like Penn State lost to Ohio State. Ohio State lost to Oregon. Oregon was the only undefeated team to make the 12-team playoffs.
I knew Oregon was going down. I didn't realize.
But again, you got Oregon, who's already played Ohio State once
And they
in
beat
the
them.
season and beat them.
Yeah.
Now you're telling them, all right, well, you're a conference champion. You're a conference champion. Now you got to go play Ohio State again in the playoffs, which, by the way, Ohio State has nothing to lose. Okay. They're in this playoffs. They got put in because of their rank, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in. Now you got to go face Oregon. Oregon's basically saying, like, crap, we've already beat Ohio State. Now you got to tell us we got to beat them again.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's just all it is. It's just the money. That's it. It's what.
Well, they go any further than 12 teams, it's going to be. It's going to be because of money, and I don't think it's going to do it any justice. I think.
I
12
think
teams enough. I just need to have 12 best teams in. I mean,
do I want to watch a blowout in the playoffs? No. But did we not have blowouts?
Yeah, it gets in.
Did we not have blowouts this playoff?
Yeah.
Even with the best teams, alleged best teams in the 12.
All right, well, who's going to win?
We had
who do you see in the finals?
We had blowouts.
Who do you see in the finals?
Game of the playoffs. The best game of the playoffs was Texas Arizona State.
That was the best game of the year. That was a great game.
Best game in the playoffs was Texas Arizona State.
That was an unbelievable game. I thought Texas had that game, but that was amazing. And then the two missed field goals from one of the best kickers in the country, and the last one hit the field goal post. Went about a 30-something yarder. That was a great game. I don't know, man. I think Ohio State's the best team. You know, I'm not a Ohio State fan. I'm pulling for I want Texas to win. I don't know if they can beat Ohio State. I mean, if I was betting money, I'd put it on Ohio State, even though I cannot stand the Buckeyes.
Do you want to hear the conspiracy theory?
What's that?
Well, it is theorized that the referees intentionally allowed Texas to beat Arizona State because first year 12-team playoff, whatever you want to call it, and with the fact that you got the SEC and the Big Ten as these super conferences that they're becoming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would they want a SEC Big Ten matchup in the championship?
Well, I hope not.
So, therefore, if the targeting call, which, by the way, every analyst that I have watched and seen and read has said it was clear targeting in the Arizona State game that would have allowed Arizona State to advance to possibly kick the winning field goal.
Yeah. I hope not. I hope that's not.
I'm just saying that's.
Then again, I'm gonna tell you. You don't believe in conspiracy theories,
but
Mike Tyson would have beat, you know what, Jake Paul's butt.
Hey, look. I'm not a conspiracy theorist,
but I know. If it was a fair fight, Mike Tyson would have. I watched that fight. That was rigged. That was all about the money, which is sad because everybody they announced it for 9 months. You're getting ready. They had to reschedule it. It's like Tyson's got them. They go out there but anyways, they need to get there's nothing worse than watching a football game, whether it's your team or two teams that are not actually your team, to see somebody win a game that they should have won because of bad ref calling, bad play calls. I mean, I'm not a Carolina fan, but you watch that LSU game when Carolina played them. Carolina would probably won that game. It went for a couple bad calls there.
Yeah,
they got one job to do, and that's to ref the game.
Well,
they need to be neutral refs. Huh?
I think personally, the referees need to become not a conference.
Yeah,
referee.
they need to be neutral, not ACC, not SEC, neutral.
Yeah, I think it should be a complete.
I'm gonna be frank with you, man.
I think it should be a complete neutral entity. And honestly and truly, why can't the NFL refs come down?
Dude, it's going to be – I'm a Clemson fan. If I was a ref and we're playing Carolina, went down the last play, and we're up by 3 points, Carolina throws the ball in the end zone, and it looks like pass interference, it's going to be hard for me to make that call because I can't be partial. I'm a Clemson fan.
Well, technically speaking,
I'm not saying I'm dishonest. It'd be hard for me to ref a Clemson game.
We've had games in the past where referees were alumni of USC.
Yeah,
like they
imagine that, Rob. You're
refereed the game and made some bad calls that went into.
I'm not a dishonest person. I'm pretty, but imagine me and you are reffing a Clemson game. We're playing Carolina. It's going to be hard, when something's really close there to make the right call. That's just, I think, for anybody.
Honestly, as a referee, you need to make unbiased calls, period.
It's going to be hard, though, if you're biased, is what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying is you basically got.
That's why they need to be unbiased refs.
Yeah, you just got to be an unbiased person and not make those calls. You just got to make the calls how you see them and not put your feelings into it.
Yeah, and that's why if I was a ref, I would do not put me in a Clemson game. I don't want to make calls.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like it.
Anyway,
a lot of talk about the fact that Texas game, it was clear cut targeted, which also there was targeting that was against the Texas player earlier in the game that wasn't called as well, and a lot of people were saying that should have been called. But look, if you got referees deciding the game, that's not good.
It's not good at all.
And in my opinion, they it was kind of like one of those. Well, we just let them play. Well, yeah, you also
fan.
The whole point of
even if I was a Green Bay fan, you remember back when Dez made that catch, which they said when the catch, Dallas would advance. Well, it was the Super Bowl. That was the NFC Championship. Dez caught the ball.
Well, here's the thing about the whole targeting thing, and this is why I said the conspiracy theory kind of comes into play here. Is the referees on the field didn't call it targeting? Okay.
Yeah.
It was buzzed down from the replay booth or whoever it is, buzzed down saying, we want to review this play because we think that was targeting. All right?
Yeah.
So if the referees on the field don't call it, but they do, they should have made the right call. Because they don't have – they should
always make the right call, especially when you got
it was hard to make a call against the team that you're a fan of, right?
Well, remember –
you're taking it out of the hands of the guys on the field, and now you're taking it to the replay, and replay shows it was clear-cut definition targeting.
Well, let's go back to Clemson Carolina game.
The replay booth said no targeting.
Let's go back to Clemson Carolina game. I'm a Clemson fan. You're a Clemson fan. But you remember the Antonio Williams on the sidelines? First down. I mean, I'm not making excuses. That could have been a game-changing thing because we got down there and we ended up.
In my opinion, it was. I mean, that was a catch.
That was a catch. I mean, you got pictures of it, and you see that much film between the line and all.
And that's my thing.
And they called down. All of a sudden, they called down and they reversed it.
Field as a catch. They ruled it on the field as a catch.
Yeah.
You go to replay. You're going to tell me you had enough video evidence to overturn the call on the field?
No, and there's some pictures they're taking that you can see there's a little bit of distance between the line.
Again, that's why I'm saying. I feel like the referees this year, literally,
they need to have a league that is non-SEC, non-Big Ten, just neutral. However you do that, that's what it's got to be.
Yeah, I agree. But what I'm saying is if you go back and look at any one of the games, any time that a Big Ten or an SEC team played a non-conference game, referees went in their favor.
Yeah.
Now,
that shouldn't happen.
Conspiracy theory. All right. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying what I have heard and what I've seen people say. And it makes you wonder makes you wonder. But again, guys on the field need to make the plays.
Yeah, they need them. They got one job to do.
And honestly, Clemson didn't make the plays on the field when they needed to.
No.
And that's why we lost the game we lost.
I'm excited about next year. I know it sounds like a Carolina fan, but
well, I'm excited. I'm super excited, especially to the fact that we might get a we
really didn't lose a lot of people,
really
man.
Good defensive coordinator. I'm really hoping that Dabo makes that good decision and gets us the best defensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's gonna be a game changer, man.
Get Venables back, to be honest.
Well, we just need a beast of somebody kind of like him. And it doesn't even have to be as good as Venables, but if he's in somewhere in that line, that could be a game changer, Because we did not lose a lot of players. We're not losing a lot of players this year. A lot of people coming back. A lot of people. Antonio Williams decided not to go. Cade decided to come back. We still got the receiving university. We got Moore. We got Wesco. Antonio Williams. Offense is looking solid. Sammy Brown's coming into his second year. He's a beast. Peter Woods is back. So we should be better this year than we were this coming year. We were this year.
Yep.
So anyhow, I'm gonna. I don't know why I'm gonna predict Notre Dame to upset.
Look. I'm pulling for Notre Dame because, in a sense, they're not a conference.
Yeah,
they don't have a conference alliance, so it's almost like a non-conference team is playing right now, but they are somewhat of a representation of the ACC.
They are kind of.
So I'm kind of hoping that Notre Dame.
They really are kind of.
I like Penn State. I've always liked Penn State. It's the only Big Ten. If you said, "Hey, you got to be a fan of a Big Ten team," which team would you pick? Penn State would be my team.
Yeah, Penn State. Penn State.
Ohio
State seems to be the best team, but I'm pulling against them. I do not want Ohio State to win.
Oh, hell no.
Anybody can win, I'm happy. I'm happy if Texas wins. I'm happy Notre Dame wins.
I would rather Texas win because I've never had bad feelings against Texas. I'd rather Texas win than Ohio State. I just hate that it's going to be another SEC team.
Yeah. Well,
because I am an anti-SEC team, but I'm also an anti-Big Ten team.
Well, people were talking about the law. That was about a year ago. It was last, I want to say March last year, that we sued the ACC, and then Florida State did it, before we did, and people were like, what's going to happen? I'm like, look, this ain't going to happen overnight. It could take a couple of years. We probably won't even hear. It'll probably be after this year before we hear anything. Will we ever come out of the ACC? What happened to that? Will we even win the case? Who knows?
What I find funny is how everybody wants to say the SEC and the Big Ten are the best two conferences, right? But why is it that let's just judge it on national titles, okay?
Well,
why is it that
Carolina fans saying that they don't have any national titles or championships?
Well, but what I'm saying is
championship 1969.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, my point is, everybody says SEC is the best conference in the nation. Second to that would be the Big Ten, right?
I'm not going to argue. I'm a Clemson. I'm not going to argue with that.
Right.
SEC.
But what I'm saying is, everybody, all these big heads, all these people, they all say SEC is the best conference in the nation. Big Ten is the second best conference in the nation, right? Why is it that the Big Ten has only won one championship?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You paused for a second.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You kind of paused.
Yeah, but why is it that in the last 10 years?
I hear this stuff mostly from Carolina fans.
Only one championship from Big Ten.
What do we want? What is it? We won
ACC championship. No, you got 3 ACC championships.
All that crap, man. It's Gamecock talk. They're delusional. They're like liberals. I'm just saying, man. We've won 23 ACC championships. We've won 3 national championships. We've been to the playoffs 7 times now. Carolina hadn't been to. I hear most of that weak schedule because they don't have anything else to talk about except they live vicariously through you. A Carolina fan, not all of them, but a lot of them are more happy when we lose than when they win. I could care less, on any given Saturday if they win or lose. Whatever. I'm more concerned about Clemson winning that game. If they lose, they lose. They win, they win. Man, they get a lot of joy at that Texas game, which they didn't even make it to the playoffs. And they say we played in a cupcake schedule and all this stuff, but it doesn't matter. As long as you beat the team in front of you. Each game is more important than the game before. It's the game you're playing. Whatever. SEC, honestly, yeah, they're a little bit stronger. They're stronger than the ACC, but we can't control that. I mean,
Yeah.
we actually don't even want to be in the ACC. That's why we sued the ACC. But the bottom line is the way the system set up.
I personally, as a fan, I like that we're in the ACC. I don't want to be in the SEC. I don't want to be roped in with that.
I don't care. As long as we
feel like the SEC teams, they feel like they're entitled. You know what I mean? I like that we're in the ACC and we have to fight harder.
Yeah, as long as we got a couple. We play in LSU the first game of the season. SEC team at Death Valley. It ought to be an epic game. You ought to get a bunch of us guys. You ought to go to that game. You can. Because that's usually we don't start out like we start out playing Georgia. We didn't play them at home, so we're playing Death Valley. I'm hoping it's an ESPN game day and it's maybe a night game or at least later in the afternoon, not a noon game. I'm thinking it will be. But I mean, we always got a Georgia in the mix. We got an LSU or we got somebody that's we usually play an SEC team every year, and it just depends on the year. Who I think UNC is going to be making a run for it. Maybe not this year, within a year or two. You call me wrong in 3 years, you can call me right, but I think in about 2 or 3 years, UNC is going to be on the map. Belichick coming in, I think he's going to change that program.
Well, I mean, I think obviously you got to predict that. I mean,
yeah.
Without a doubt, I think Belichick's going to definitely make UNC into an ACC powerhouse.
Yeah.
And
he's already getting some people out of
UNC has never really been known for its football, so
yeah,
they had to do. Here's what's funny: UNC had to do something because their basketball team is no longer
team looking terrible.
Powerhouse.
Yeah, so, basketball team's not on the downfall. So they got to bring it.
By the way, I did see that Clemson did fall out of the AP Top 25, which is sad to see. As hard as we work to get in it,
I'm really behind. I wasn't behind them last year. I was discouraged, and then we lost ACC. I was like, lost the ACC championship. I mean, the ACC tournament. The Boston College got killed. I'm like, we need a new coach. We did and then we go to the NCAA and we win one game. I'm like, okay, and we win two. So win three. I'm like, whoa, and then win four. We make the lead 8. We look really good. And we only lost like 2 players, but we got that Victor guy, that 7-foot guy, and we got the guy from Duke. We got Chase Hunter that when he's hot, he can hit a 3-pointer all day long. And then you got Shep. So I'm hoping we make a good run this year. I want to win the ACC championship basketball. It'd be nice to have it in basketball and football. And we got a solid baseball team, so we could have all 3 win an ACC championship as possible. But I think Duke's the team to beat. The rest of the teams ACC, I think, we're better than. Duke's pretty solid.
Well, like I said, I think we're in ACC play now, and it was sad to see Clemson lose the Cardinal game, unfortunately. Yeah. But we beat Stanford, we beat Cal. This Saturday at 2:00 p.m. on the ACC Network channel, Clemson will host Florida State.
You think it'll be snowed out?
You got a point.
Is that Clemson?
However,
what time they play?
Florida State is 11-4. Clemson is 12-4. So this should be a pretty good game.
Florida State
against Florida State at home.
Yeah.
And then we follow up on Tuesday the 14th. We go down to Atlanta and we'll play Georgia Tech at 9 p.m. on Tuesday.
We play Duke at home. You got the date on that? I'm going to go to that game.
Duke?
It's like in February.
Duke, that'll be February 8th, which is actually my brother's birthday.
Okay, is that
February 8th, Duke versus Clemson, which Duke is ranked number 4 at 13-2.
Yeah.
See, I don't get that. We've only lost 2 games more than they have, and they're ranked number 2.
2 games we lost were in double overtime, and we could have won, but because they're Duke. That's why.
North Carolina's record right now is 10-6.
Yeah.
Which sucks, by the way our schedule's set up. We got Duke at home, and then we have North Carolina right after that at home.
Is that Duke game a weekend game or?
It is a Saturday game.
Cool, I'm going.
Saturday, February 8th at 6 p.m. on ESPN. Duke
Perfect.
versus Clemson at
Not too late. Not too early.
Little John.
I'll be there. Cool.
And then, like I said, the very next game, which would be the 10th, February 10th, a Monday. So we get a short turnaround. And then on Monday, so Saturday we play Duke. Monday we play North Carolina at Little John.
Oh, so we both home games.
Yeah, at 7 p.m. on Monday.
We win those two, we're looking good.
And then we go back to Florida State.
Okay.
So
Okay. That'll be March before you know it.
and then finishing out the February month, you got Clemson versus SMU in SMU, and Notre Dame comes to Little John on Wednesday the 26th.
How's Notre Dame looking this year?
They're 7-8.
They're not looking that great. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes
SMU is 11-4 right now. So SMU has a decent basketball team. I don't know who they play.
Well, we played California. We beat them. I was at that game.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know who SMU. Let me look real quick.
And then we got Stanford. They're in the ACC now. Stanford sometimes has had a decent basketball team.
Well, SMU lost to Duke 89-62.
Stanford.
SMU also lost to North Carolina 82-67.
Stanford's 10-5. They're playing. They just beat Virginia Tech 70-59. Stanford's decent. Atlantic Coast Conference. I don't know what they were thinking when they did all that. It just seems like, have we gone to the West Coast in basketball or football? I don't think we have, man, to play Stanford. Or Stanford's come to Clemson football, and California came to Clemson.
I think it's kind of like one of those first year in the conference. All those teams had to come play us.
We shouldn't. I mean, we should.
I think that's kind of like how they did it.
To have us fly out so we're probably going to fly out to California or Stanford next year.
Yeah.
Never will wrap my head around that one. I mean, it's the Atlantic Coast Conference, not the Pacific. So I don't know.
So,
all right. So everybody get your eggs.
What's coming up? What do you got? You got all right. So you're going to possibly you are going to speak.
I'm speaking February 4th. I'm gonna get somebody to film it. Yeah. They asked me, I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. I don't know what cool. It'd be great for us.
All right.
February 4th.
On that, and then
we got spring game
big in the sponsorship world.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out there. I was kind of under the weather. I didn't go to Clemson this week. I was under the weather this week, but I'm headed over next week. There are a couple of people biting. There's a hotel chain, Paragon Hotels. They own like 26. They got some in Charlotte, Anderson, Greenville. I'm 95% sure they're coming on board. Got a car lot. Mine's gone blank. Not Mitsubishi. I can't think of it right. It's in Anderson. It's not Toyota.
And I know we're still working on an I Bleed Orange charity golf tournament. I know that's still in the works.
Yeah, I'll check on that. Prayers go out to the family. He passed.
Who?
Thomas Talbert, the guy that had brain cancer.
Oh, the little kid?
No, not the kid. The older guy. They did in the beginning of the year. He couldn't see out of one eye. I don't know. You don't get on Facebook as much as I do. He died. He had brain cancer, and so prayers go out to his family. He put up a good fight, and I mean, he just got sicker and sicker. He died Tuesday, and Shelby and them are doing a lot of. They did a lot of Shelby and Randy. Remember, we had them on the show. They wanted me to say a little, prayer for their family, and so yeah. So he passed.
Okay, because I thought you were talking about the kid there for a minute, the one that they were doing the whole charity thing for.
I got to meet the kid. He was at the Citadel game, and great spirits. Dude's he's got some kind of, I forgot what he's got, but he's had 238 surgeries or something. He's only like 5. But, I mean, they're doing a great thing. They got to meet Dabo, got to go into the players' locker room, got to go on the field. They put up a hotel. They had the news people came down. I mean, the whole weekend was about that kid, man. And, put a smile on his face. Another guy, he'd never missed a game, and he got so sick that they got him. They paid for the hotel and all that stuff. So they're doing a lot of good. Clemson Family Wish is the name of it. It's a nonprofit. They're doing a lot of good things. Got a big heart. And just people in need or people going through something, that's what they do. It's kind of like a ministry or something. But no, he passed. I wasn't surprised. I mean, I'm surprised. Thomas was really sick. And brain cancer. I've known some people that gotten brain cancer, and it's it don't easy as fast. It's usually not like other cancer.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, what's going on in the sponsor world?
Well, we got the Will Height
Anything?
House. I'm probably going to stay there this coming week. We got well, let's go through them. We got Anderson Ford. They renewed this year. Got Pendleton Candy Company. We got well, Knickerbocker's closed. Not to be a negative nanny.
I
or
can't believe that.
Yeah.
That still blows my mind.
Yeah, when I was going to the Clemson game, I knew it was in December. I drove by, their sign was taken off. They've been around forever. So who else?
Unfortunately, a lot of online businesses killing the brick and mortar business. That's the only part.
Yeah. And they may have gotten, I think Everhead might have gotten too much. They had 3 stores, one on Woodruff Road, one in downtown Clemson, one in the main road, and going in Seneca. Probably had a lot of overhead. And probably COVID and stuff had something to do with it. I think after COVID, things started going downhill. But
well, like I said, I mean the whole online shopping thing has unfortunately killed a lot of small brick and mortar businesses.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad I'm doing what I'm doing. I mean, I was in the product base, but I don't do a lot of products anymore. But it got to be a headache there at the end. It's a dog eat dog world out there. I mean,
yep,
with inventory and prices.
Well,
anyways, we'll have a better year. Huh? We're gonna
basketball.
They
got playoff game tonight. Notre Dame versus Penn State. You're saying you're going Notre Dame?
I'm going Notre Dame and Texas, even though I think Ohio State's better than Texas. I can't pull for Ohio State.
So let's say the predictions work, and you got Texas Notre Dame in the championship game. Who you pick?
Oh, Notre Dame.
You're going Notre Dame national.
Surprised me that last game. But I really think I hate to say this.
I mean, the only game they lost.
I want a New England Patriots fan, but I always like
Northern Illinois.
The
only game they lost is Northern Illinois.
Yeah, they got killed. And they haven't lost since. They've been pretty dominant since.
That was the wake-up call, and they've blown out or – I don't think they've really had a close game since.
I guess every team's got that one game every couple of years they just don't show up for because we're sitting in Death Valley and that score came.
Well, I think Notre Dame basically said, "Oh, it's Northern Illinois. Who are those guys?" And let them come in there.
Stayed out too late that night. I don't know. I've got a great game tonight. I got Notre Dame winning by 3. I wouldn't.
I think it's
actually. Ohio State game.
I think it's going to be. I'm actually going to say it's 28-14.
Who? Penn State?
Notre Dame. 28-14 Notre Dame.
Which they started at what, 7 or 7:30?
7:30.
7:30.
Game day is on right now.
All right. Anything else?
I think that's it, bud.
If you hadn't got your eggs, you hadn't got your bread, and you hadn't got your milk, it's already gone. I actually bought eggs today from a convenience store because they didn't have any at the grocery store. I was in there buying some other things. Like, you got your eggs in here? I'd gone down to Aldi's and Publix, and they were out of eggs when I was down there. Aldi's was out of bread and eggs. I mean, it is like the South. You got to laugh. You've ever been up north in the winter? This is just a normal day. But I love the meteorologists, man. They really get into this. It's like their Super Bowl.
Yeah, I might get up early tomorrow and make Spam and eggs and salsa.
Spam?
Yeah, I love some Spam.
I did go buy more groceries than I usually buy, but, I mean, it'd be melted. I mean, it would be fine by Sunday. It's not like I
love me some Spam. You know something else I really like eating, too, is liver mush.
Ooh. I mean, I'll eat it, but I don't. Unless I have to.
I don't know. Something about liver mush. Now, I can't
eat
just liver.
If
you put liver on my plate and said, here you go, I probably wouldn't eat it. But something about liver mush just, I don't know. I like that stuff.
I like fried liver. Chicken liver?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I never get the milk and bread thing. I don't know why. Yeah. What are you going to do with milk and bread? I mean, drink milk, eat raw. I mean.
Nah, well, you know what that's all about.
Like if your power,
you can make a sandwich. All right. If your power goes out.
But they're not out of sandwich meat. They're out of bread. Okay.
Well, no, but I'm saying
what is it with the milk?
Sandwiches, right?
What do you use milk for? Cereal and
cereal. I mean, to drink cereal. You could take the milk and set it outside. Yeah. It's cold enough. It's outside temperatures is about what your refrigerator temperature is, 34 degrees.
Yeah.
So you stick the milk outside if you lose power.
No,
All
I
right.
just know. I know. I've been up north in the winter, and they don't go through this. It's snowing. Okay, Buffalo. Let's say they got
Okay.
snow coming
First of all, in the north, you
in. It
don't
snows
lose
all the
power.
time. Huh?
Okay. In the north, you don't lose power.
Yeah. I don't.
And
I hope we don't lose power, but if we lose power because the snow turned over to freezing rain.
right.
That's
And
what you
that's
gotta
the
worry
problem. That's what a lot of the northerners don't understand is one,
Yeah.
okay, we lose power. All
Yeah.
right. Now you can't use the stove if you're electric.
Yeah.
The only ones that can use their stoves is if it's gas. All right. So
Yeah.
you got no power. So therefore you can't cook. You can't use a microwave. All right.
Mhm.
So you make sandwiches. You can make
Well-
cheese sandwich. You can make just a cheese sandwich. You can make, if you got lunch meat, you can make, some lunch meat. But the milk, you can make cereal. You can, set it outside. Now, I will say this. Milk is a little bit of a, I don't understand why it always is one of the main ones to go.
Yeah.
But I get it because you can make cereal. So you can make breakfast. You can make lunch. And then
Yeah.
you can, if you have a gas stove, you can make some eggs.
But I guarantee you, look at the weather report by Sunday and Monday, we're fine. Worst case scenario, you're stuck in for 24 hours. They go buy the store out like we're just going to go for a couple of weeks.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, none of the stores close in the north because
Yeah.
one, you can still drive. They prepare every year. The roads are prepped,
Yeah. I'm
plowed. The roads are plowed, and drivable. All right.
Yeah.
So you
I
can
kind
go
of
to the
like a
store
good
and
snow,
still
man.
get
'Cause we
what
don't,
you need, and no one loses power in the north.
I get it. If you get snow every other week in the north and you're getting 100 inches or whatever a year, whatever the hell
Yeah.
it gets. 50
Well, the
inches a
problem
year.
we have is the ice forms, which
Yeah.
causes limbs to break and fall on power lines, or the ice forms on the power lines and it becomes
Yeah.
too heavy and the power lines are disconnected. That's what happens.
I don't know where you were living back in 2007. There's a 6 or 7 somewhere in there. We had that ice storm.
2007, I was in Atlanta, Georgia.
Do you remember hearing about the ice storm?
Oh, yeah.
There were people here that didn't have power for a week or two. It was
Oh,
just all ice. It was bad.
Yeah.
I was coming back from Columbia, bought a car, and I had my girlfriend at the time driving my car. I ended up sliding off the road. We got to through Lawrence. I was in a new car. We couldn't even make it back to my house. I was living in Greenville, man. I had to get a hotel room, like in Simpsonville. That's about as far as I can make it. It's just black ice. We're stuck up in the hotel room about 2 or 3 days.
That's the thing. In the north, salting there. That's why if you ever look at a car from the north, an older car, they have rust all down the bottom of the car. Like there were just spots that are completely rusted out. Well, it's because of the salt. They salt so much in the north. They here in the south, we only salt right at the time that they say it's going to snow.
Yeah, I saw some.
They start pre-salting, right? Well, then they go and then the day of the snow, they go out and salt again, and then that's it. They're done. In the north, they salt and salt and salt and salt.
Okay, college game day. I got it on now.
All right,
big good game. I guess
let's go Tigers. Let's
go Tigers.
Beat
Florida State. Let's make a good run. Let's win it all.
Yep. All right, go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Go Notre Dame. See you next Tuesday, 7:30, record time.